from BN Spired Horsemanship, and today on our Training Tip Tuesday, I'm going to be going over some of the basic exercises that you want to do to get started getting your horses acclimated to a training flag. So the only equipment you really need for this work is a rope halter and a lead rope, as we've discussed before, and then you're going to want to get maybe some kind of training flag. So I have a training flag. You can use a lunge whip with a bag tied on the end. You can use a dressage crop with a handkerchief tied on the end, but you just want to make sure you have something that is fairly stable that you can use for this flag work. So I'm going to show you a couple of different exercises to get you started acclimating your horse to a flag, and hope you enjoy our Training Tip Tuesday. Okay guys, so as you can see and maybe hear, it's a little bit windy today, so I always like to kind of make sure my horse, especially Zeus, the horse I have with me today, is not going to have kind of any issues when the wind's up, when there might be some scarier things going on with the trees or something blowing by. So those are days, especially with this horse, I specifically choose to revisit my flag work. I work with him on the ground, you know, as much as needed or every day with the flag now that he's more advanced, but I specifically do it on days where I think, you know, something might concern him, he might get a little nervous in the wind. So I will be interspersing some videos that I also took with Flash last night. So the first thing I like to do when I'm introducing a horse to the flag is I like to make sure that I'm just exposing them to the flag while they're at a standstill. When you're doing this, as you can see, I'm approaching Zeus from the hind quarters first. I'm making sure that he's kind of okay with the flag around his hindquarters, up around his saddle, and then I work my way from the hindquarters toward the front. Couple of things to notice when you're doing this exercise is you want to keep your horse's nose pointed the direction you're going. That will keep the flexion your way. So my horses are pretty acclimated to flags, but with a newer horse, you're going to want to make sure you keep their nose bent toward you. That way, if they did need to leave or they got scared or they needed to move their feet, they weren't going to kind of kick you as they went by. They won't kind of lean in and run over top of you. You'll also notice that when I start acclimating to the flag, I keep my hands in a very wide arc. So this is working with Flash, and you're going to see the same series of steps as well. I'm going to start at a standstill. I'm going to start with the flag at the hindquarters. As I was just saying, you want to keep your hands in a really wide arc. So there, Flash thought, hey, I'm supposed to move forward. So all I did was roll his hindquarters back to a stop, kind of line him back up to where he's pointing the direction I want him to stand, and then I just start again. So now I'm on the left side, and as you can see, I use the flag in a really wide arc. So if you want to think about the sides of a triangle having a greater than 90-degree angle with your two hands and your body between the horse, and that way I can kind of expose them to it gradually. Once my horse is okay with this, the next thing you see me doing is starting to ask the horse to move forward just slowly, a couple of steps at a time, while I keep their flag at their hindquarters. The next exercise I like to work on is getting the horse to move while I'm working with the flag. So same thing, I'll ask the horse to go out and around me. You can see here with Zeus, I've sent him around on a circle, and I'm just using the flag in a very casual but soft manner while I expose it at his hindquarters. I then begin to work my way up the horse, just like I did at a standstill, from the hindquarters toward the front. When I'm ready to stop and change direction, I just make sure I roll the horse's hindquarters and get them to come to a standstill. Then I would send them out on a circle the other direction, making sure to acclimate them the same way. So here you're going to see the same exercise repeated with Flash. I'm going to send him out on the circle, and then I'm going to use the flag in that wide arc at first, well away from his hindquarters. Now, Flash is okay with the flag being close to him, just like Zeus. This is merely for demonstration purposes to show you guys how you'd start. And then, as you can see, I start taking the flag more toward his hindquarters. I'm moving the flag, and then I'm making sure to pet my horse with the flag as well. This is key when you're exposing your horses to flags, because you want to make sure the horse doesn't think the flag is a disciplinary or a negative reaction type item. We're just letting the horse know that it's okay to be around the flag without any punchy or quick movements out of fear. So you'll see me a lot reach up to my horses and pet them with the flag all over while I'm acclimating them to it. So now we're going the opposite direction on our circle, and I'm repeating the exercise both ways. It's important to utilize your flag both directions the same way, because sometimes your horse maybe is a little better on one eye than the other. So you might have a horse that is going to just do just fine, whether standing still or in motion with the flag to the left, but when you change to the right, they're going to have a little bit different reaction. So you're going to want to make sure you find that out on the ground and with your flag first, before you ride them and something scares them a little bit more out of one eye than the other, and you kind of have an issue while you're riding. So now you're going to see me do exercise 3, which is exposing my horse's blind spots and their front quarters from the ground to the flag. You're going to see a rather quick demonstration of this with Zeus, and then we'll go through it step by step with Flash. One of the most important things to note is that you want to make sure your horse is a safe distance away by backing them off of you via method 1 of backing. So here you'll see me with Flash. First thing I'm going to do is make sure he's set up a safe distance away. I'm going to back him up a couple of steps off method 1 of backing. Then I'm going to make sure that when I start to use this flag through his blind spot underneath his chin, I use the flag close to me before I use the flag closer to him. I also like to make a circle or a wide arc around, up and over and back down into my horse's blind spot. I do both the methods when I'm exposing this blind spot, whether it's back and forth along the ground or over the top. So you'll see me again with Zeus here doing the same thing. And then one of the last exercises I do with my horses is I like to make sure I can do the same exercises through their blind spot once again while they're in motion. So you'll see me walking Zeus toward me, and then I'll be taking the flag in and out of his blind spot. So kind of a fun little clip at the end, and an exercise you can work on with your horses once they're acclimated to the flag, is climbing up and having the horse come up to you on the fence and work with your flag over top of your horse at the fence. This exercise is great if you ever want to ride your horse with a flag, because you're going to need this skill set and they're going to want to be able to see the flag from above them. So you'll see me here working with Flash, and I'm making sure that he's good with the flag on both sides of him. I once again start kind of wide away and then work my way up toward his head from his hindquarters closer to him. You notice I'm petting on him with the flag as well, and I'm just making sure that he doesn't move and he has no fear when it comes to the flag. With Flash, I think he's going to be a great horse to ride with the flag, because he's already well acclimated and shows no fear when I use it from the fence and above him. So that's all our time today on Training Tip Tuesday, flag work. We appreciate you joining BN Spired Horsemanship, and have a great day.